Good evening, it's Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, the rally and the retaliation.
Let's get it popping.
I am Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, the rally and the retaliation. Let's talk about tonight's rally at Saunders High School. At tonight's school board meeting, I got a chance to speak with the councilman from the 4th District, John Rubo. Also, retaliation. Yeah, it seems like they're stepping up their game now. Good evening, good evening. I am Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, the rally and the retaliation. I want to talk about tonight's rally and school board meeting. It was organized by Yonkers United 2021. And they've been going out consistently to school board meetings and voicing their displeasure with the school mask mandates. They have been now advocating nonstop to at least follow some of the other municipalities, school districts, and make mask optional. It's getting to be a big topic, right? And it's kind of divided us. And I don't hear many in support of the mask. I'm more now hearing those who are not in support of the mask. Although there was someone who went up today and spoke in support of the mask, not very popular. A woman by the name of Eileen O'Connor. Many of you might know her from the organization that she heads or is one of the leadership, part of the leadership, Indivisible. Indivisible is very active in in politics, specifically here in Yonkers when it comes to Corazon Pineda. She got booed. Reverend Steve Lopez, president of the school board, then got loud and told everyone to stop because that's not what you would teach your children to do. Yeah. It was very interesting. Not many speakers, but at the end, someone did get very upset and they had to be escorted out. Is it starting to happen? I don't know if many of you saw the Fox News clip where a parent was removed physically by school members or school staff for not wearing a mask at a school board meeting. I want to show a little bit about the mask mandate. And I do want to say I appreciate the support from individuals who were there, parents. Many say they follow the show. Some are we're learning about it tonight and are looking forward to seeing the show. So I appreciate it. Please share. Please continue to share. Please continue to share. It's incredible how many people are speaking about this show and they appreciate what I'm doing. So please, I thank you so much. So much. So I just want to share some of these, the meeting here. I won't share the entire thing, although it wasn't very long because school board, I don't know if they cut it short. They were upset, but it didn't last very long. And here you have Eileen O'Connor speaking.
Thank you for allowing us to speak. My name is Eileen O'Connor. I'm a Yonkers resident. My daughter Maeve went through the Yonkers Public School several years ago. But I'm a nurse practitioner and I work in the Bronx. I live in Yonkers. And I have many young patients who I've seen just in the last few weeks who, have had COVID, who have families, they're part of the surge. Thankfully, they're all doing okay. When I ask them how they feel about being at school and wearing masks, they're like, it's okay, it's all right.
Oh my gosh.
Because the alternative, it was terrible. Not being in school was terrible. And we have this deadly pandemic that's killed almost 1 million Americans
Not true.
Excuse me, but that's not how you teach your children to respect somebody else's opinion. I will clear this room if you're gonna have it. Have some respect. Go ahead.
This pandemic has killed 1 million of us, and many of my patients, what they're suffering from is the trauma from the loss of family members and friends. And that's really where they need.
That was Reverend Stephen Lopez, the president of the school board, who makes a pretty good salary here in Yonkers. A lot of taxpayer money goes to him.
We're really almost at the end of this wave. And it will happen, but if we do it too soon and the rates start going up again, we're all gonna be back in the same place. So it makes no sense to be premature about taking the masks off. What was fantastic was witnessing, the accolades given to these student athletes earlier, and the joy in the room, and the great energy, and everybody had masks on, and it didn't matter. It's really, kids adapt, the number one thing that I've heard from them is that they're really happy to be back in school, and they want to be, that they want that to remain the way it is. We've got to have a sense of community. It's not just about the kids, it's about keeping the teachers and the staff safe. And so we're all in this together, and we've got to maintain that sense of community and making sure that some child who's immunocompromised isn't going to get in trouble because the masks came off too soon. Kids are resilient, yes, not being able to see a full facial expression, that's not great for kids. But neither is having to go through this for another year because we're not being smart. So that's I'm just here as a community member saying, stay the course. We're almost there, at least with this wave.
One wave.
Keep the masks on for as long as they need to be on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Eileen O'Connor.
Next is
How you
Samantha
doing?
Rosado Cediello, President of the Army Federation.
You're from Indivisible, correct?
Yes.
You supported Corazon Pineda, Isaac?
Good evening. I'm Samantha Rosado
Yeah.
Cediello, President of the
I want to
Army
listen, but do you
Federation of
support
Teachers.
Corazon Pineda, Isaac? You do?
I asked.
Well, that's not good judgment.
Can
So how do you know about the
cross
match? Your
out
judgment
a
for match is good.
contract
You know her district is one of the
without
poorest
knowing the
and
number
has
of teachers
been going downhill
and teaching
forever.
assistants.
Yes, that's Eileen O'Connor there, a big supporter of Corazon Pineda, Isaac. And I asked her, I said, if that's the judgment that you're making there in politics, then I'm not sure if your judgment in regards to the mask is really credible, right? That district is extremely in bad shape, lots of crime. Crime continues to surge, and yet they continue to support. Eileen O'Connor, I'm not sure where she came from. I don't ever see her in the community. But anyway, going back to the mask, she was in support of it. She said that we're almost through this. We're just through the wave. This wave is going to be over. But the problem is that we've been going through wave after wave. When is it going to be over? She can't tell us that. She doesn't know. What if there's another variant? And now we have to be masked up and locked down. I want to show one of the parents that was escorted out, and then I want to play John Rubo. I did get a hold of Mr. Rubo there, who I should say was, I guess, in attendance. I didn't see him till I started to walk out. He was outside in the hallway area there, but I do want to show right there the parent. You can see upset visibly and understandably. And they didn't let her talk.
And this concludes the public speaking portion of tonight's State of the Union. No, you cannot. You have to sign up before 5 p.m. Thank you.
Tell him. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Tell him.
I'm going to ask the trustees to
That's
recess
right.
until we get ready
That's
for the
right.
State of the Union.
That's right.
Because you're ignorant.
Yeah. Make them take you out. That's true, though. What? And after that, the people see that they cleared the room. She was not allowed to speak because she didn't sign up. Everyone had to clear. That's when we all went outside. And then to my surprise, I saw council member John Rubo. I also did see county legislator James Nolan. I did say hello to him. I saw him walking in. He was there as well. But I did speak with Councilman Rubo. I did manage to get a quick interview, which I'm going to play now for you, and then we'll discuss that here, wherever it went, because things seem to get. Give me 2 seconds. I apologize for that. I did have it up. It was ready to go, and here it goes. I'm not sure where it went. Well, I'll try to look for that, but I did speak to the council member. He is doing a rally tomorrow for anyone who may be interested in attending. He is going to be doing a rally tomorrow. And I heard something about it being with the mayor. I'm not sure how true that is. I did ask the councilman if he was doing, he said yes. He, here he goes. He is, I guess, he agrees that we should not have, or at least the mask should be optional. But can the councilman actually do something about it? Is this just posturing? Is this rally that he's putting on tomorrow just posturing, right? Because they can actually do something about it. This is a mayoral controlled school board. And I'll talk about that, what that means in a second here. But I want to share the interview or the quick interview there with the councilman, and we'll discuss. Optional. So why is it Harrison, Eastchester, Irvington, and there was another town, I believe Tuckahoe, are optional. And the school board decided to go optional against the governor's mandate, which is illegal and unconstitutional. As you know, it was, voted on by the Supreme Court, or the judgment was made. By a judge, Supreme Court judge, correct? Right. So why is it that?
Right. So once it's appealed, it means that it stays in place.
Right. But they made the decision in other districts to go optional. Why are they doing that and you guys aren't?
I'm not really sure why or how they'd be able to do that, since
the school board made the decision. They kind of had the balls to do it. That's really what it was.
Well, I think that right now the Department of Education, the health department, is telling the school districts that kids have to wear masks. I'm for parents' choice. Okay. But starting after the holiday break, March 1st, I think we should go to parents' choice. And tomorrow,
which a lot of other school districts will be doing. Right. The officers have not made that decision yet. But is it because there is a mayoral control of the school board as opposed to the other school districts where the parents actually vote on the school board members? So is that a problem?
Well, there's no mayoral control, really.
Well, the mayor appoints the school board of trustees, does he not?
He does, but they have 5-year terms. No, they have 5-year terms, so their terms are much longer than the mayor's, really. The mayor's 4 years, their terms are 5.
Well, unless they move on up to another position within the city, correct? Which many have, correct?
School board members?
Yeah, they go on to different positions. They'll go other parts of the city, right? So, and that gets appointed by.
No, that's not true. This board's been in place for.
Not this board, but other members of the board have gone on to other positions within the city. Appointed by the mayor. No,
I mean, unless you.
Well, I'm going to make a list. I'll find out.
Yeah, unless you can tell me who.
Yeah,
but,
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. This board, I think they're doing a good job. They're taking direction from the state education department and the health department and the governor.
But I have a lot of facts, John, I could present to you that will suggest that they're wrong. I mean, these are medical experts, Nobel Prize winners. So how do we not consider that information?
Well, I think there's a lot of different information. Like, for example, now we're hearing from the CDC that these cloth masks don't work, right?
Right.
We need an N95, but still we're allowing people to walk around with the cloth mask.
On the website it says under no circumstances should they be worn. That's exactly what it says.
On the CDC, right? So that's why I'd like to see more parents' choice. Parents' choice beginning March 1st. People who are vaccinated are being protected, but there's a chance that you could still get the virus. I've on 3 different occasions I've tested positive over the last 2 years, but thank God, I'm not the healthiest guy.
Did you get retested after you got that test?
No,
You
these
should have.
were all over within.
I've had recently several parents say, "Hey, I've tested my son or my child with the school test kits that they've given us, and then I've got to test them right away, and it was negative. The school test was positive, but there's negative, and I can actually bring those parents that they've flaunted that was true.
Yeah.
But you guys can do it. You guys can get the school board. The school board can make the decision. So it's up to you guys at the end of the day.
I support the school board that they should be taking direction from New York State. I support the school board that they should be taking direction from the state education department and the governor. That's what they're doing. I support them in doing so. And we need the leadership from the governor and the health department to make a decision on when they feel is best to take off the masks. I think it could be March 1st, in my personal opinion, based on scientific data that demonstrates that we're kind of getting over this now. And the cloth masks obviously aren't working. We're not enforcing N95s in the schools. And quite honestly, the governor herself said, hey, listen, you want to go to the gym, you want to go to a restaurant, you want to go to a bar, you want to go to the movies, you don't need a mask. So I think it's time that we give it.
Yeah, and one last question. I'll let you go, John. One last thing. Dr. Rabadi, right, Chief Medical Officer or something of the city, he agrees the mask is time for the mask to go.
So
does he not get, his opinion, advice not taken into consideration?
Yeah, no, look, Dr. Rabadi's my physician. I trust him with my health. I think he's a fantastic physician, and he led the school district well through the last 2 years.
Yeah, he did.
He's the school district's physician, not the city's physician.
Okay, I got you. That's right, school district,
but I think he does a really great job, and, incorporating his opinion and hopefully what we hear from the state, we'll see what's next.
All right, sounds good. Thank you
Thanks.
for your time.
Thanks.
I appreciate it, Councilman.
That was Councilman John Rubo saying that he's for making mask optionals, which is why he's doing an event tomorrow, a rally, which I'm not sure. It said it was with the mayor. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I know he's putting it together. But I asked him, I said, John, can't you guys just get this done? Other districts have gone on to make the mask optional. Why has Yonkers not done so? And other school districts have made the decision to go optional after we come back from winter recess. The students come back from winter recess. Why has Yonkers not made that decision? And he says that Yonkers they're following the state, the health, the state health department, and all that stuff. But ultimately, they can make it. It's a mayoral controlled school board, meaning that the school board members are appointed by the mayor, and they're going to listen to the mayor. And I go on to say they're going to listen because sometimes they want to move on to other positions, and listening to the mayor and doing right by him, it serves them well. It works in their benefit. And he goes, I don't know if any school board members, this school board here has been together for a while. Well, no, actually, there is a new school board member, a school board trustee, Rosemary Linton, I believe her name is. She replaced Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, the current city council president, who was a school board trustee for not very long after being appointed by the mayor. So, John, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Is this just posturing? Is this because John realizes that the majority of us parents now want masks to be optional, and he has to make it seem like he supports that, knowing that they're going to listen to the state anyway, and we know what the state wants? Folks, the woman who was escorted out was upset because she was not able to speak. And you have to realize that maybe we have to start getting a little more energized, because going up to talk for 3 minutes and then walking away and going home is not going to get much done. And the effort, I appreciate that. And I think we are doing the right thing, but we have to maybe take it to the next level, next step, and start to demand this. Tomorrow, I think everyone should show up to that rally and demand it of the elected officials, because they will be there. I will be there as well. And I hope to see you all there as well. So that's my report on the rally part of my episode. And I'll be back tomorrow to update you guys on John Rubo's rally. Now, let's get to some retaliation. Retaliation. Yes, that is something that is very familiar here in the city of Yonkers. You go against the machine, you get retaliated on. You work for the city, they harass you and threaten to fire you. You have a business, well, they give you problems. They make it difficult for you and hope that you go away. If they haven't learned by now, one thing Freddy Vazquez will not do is go away. In fact, doing things like they did yesterday only makes me go harder. What am I talking about? Yesterday, I had a gentleman come up to me saying that he wanted a job and that he was told to come to me for a job. The condition the man was in, or the way he was dressed, I didn't take him very seriously. I asked him to, if you can, not today, I'm sorry. And he didn't want to leave. I asked him multiple times, can you please, step away from my door? And he refused to leave. He said, I came here, I was told to get it, that you have a job here for me, and I was told to do that you got a job. I'm not going anywhere. And he started going on his phone, said, I'm going to call my guy, and started going in his waistband as if he had a weapon. That's when I had to actually do what I had to do and make sure I removed him from the front of the door so I can clock it. I then had my wife or office employer say, call the police. And I went outside and he was gone. I got in my car. I eventually located him in the pizzeria where I held him in there until police arrived. Police were also called about a man with a red hoodie holding people hostage. I was not holding people hostage. I wanted to hold him for the police. He made threats that he would, find me or he knew my address, in fact. He said, I know your Addy, and that is slang for address. I got your Addy. What's interesting about it, after it was all over and cops took his information, they said they've never seen him before. No one's seen him around the area before. He said he was from Brooklyn. What was interesting was that what he was saying to me was exactly what people would say when they called my office harassing my employees. And this would always happen when I would put up a post in search of someone, because oftentimes I need someone to fill in a position for the day. People always come up to me and say, hey, if you got any work, let me know. So I do, and I get these calls. But it's also after I do particular podcasts. That is also a common denominator. And the podcast I did very recently was on the judges race with Ada Medina. I spoke about the fact that she hired Precision Strategies, a campaign management company that is owned by convicted felon. That's right. I said it again. Sehi Jerris. And in my opinion, he is the man that's behind it. When I got the phone calls to the office and I spoke to people, they said that sounds like something they've done. And if you see what happened in the city council president's race last year, it's not outside of their realm to be aggressive, harass people, and make threats. I also found interesting that the Yonkers voice didn't show up, considering that the calls and the 911 calls, I should say, should have come up as, something that was more than it really was. I know that he is privy to his son's scanner, or he gets information from his son, from what I hear, from what I've been told. His son is a police officer, I believe, here in the city of Yonkers. But he didn't show up. Found that to be strange. So, what is it about me that individuals are looking to try and stop my progress? They have also reached out to individuals to tell them not to work with me. These are city officials, governmental officials doing this. But I guess that's what they mean when they say certain individuals within our city operate like the mob. I've never had problems before, believe it or not. I know they try to make me out to some crazy guy. I've never had problems before. I have one issue, one incident that was kind of public because we went and spoke about it. That was my issues with CPS because family members wanted to ruin our reputation. What do you do to individuals who are working hard to establish reputable reputations? Those who don't have them or have nothing will try to take that from you. CPS, Department of Social Services, has acknowledged that they were false. And as a result, we've managed to make a lot of change and make some impact, because a lot of families go through that. And a lot of families that you would be surprised have gone through that. They came out and they told us because we were so public about it. But other than that, I've been pretty much quiet. Went to college, got my bachelor's in business administration and music science, and wanted to be in the music industry. When that didn't work out, I went back to get my master's in business, where I did a double major in finance and marketing, and went down to Wall Street. I was there for a while. Wasn't for me. Got into the business I'm in now, where I've been for almost 10 years now. Never had any issues. Never been arrested once, but they dropped it, trespassing. They knew it was I don't know if they were trying to meet a quota. That was many, many, many years ago, and it was clean, white, because it was nothing. It was dropped. But other than that, nothing. So why all of a sudden now, I seem to be having these issues with my business, people calling my phone, my cell phone, which is why I have it on Do Not Disturb. So I apologize, because people say, Freddy, I can't get a hold of you. Your phone goes directly to voicemail. Well, that's because I have people like Zahi Jerris pranking my phone. And this is just from what people tell me. That's their MO. That's their MO. And I believe it. Look what happened to the city council president, again, Mike Cater, former city council president. His wife received horrible phone calls and text messages. Their neighbors, robocalls, using old city numbers. Who has access to that? So it's very obvious to the individuals who are doing this, who you are. And I understand that you got upset because I spoke about the judge's race, and I may have stumbled upon a money laundering operation. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe. But it struck a nerve. And what I mean by that is, again, going back to the fact that Judge Ada Medina, who was appointed by the mayor, according to sources, has made it official, because I did ask if she had hired Zahi Jerris in Precision Strategies. She said she had not made a decision yet. That was her response. And very recently, sources have told me that she made the decision to use Precision Strategies And why is that a problem? Well, Mr. Zahi Jersey is a convicted felon, convicted of fraud, political corruption. There's also no other opponent. The one opponent that was going to enter the race was forced to drop out. They harassed his brother over at DPW and threatened to fire him, and even spoke negatively of the man in a meeting among the Democratic committee. And that's from sources that were in the meeting. So who's the opponent? So why would you hire a campaign strategy or a strategist company if there is no one to campaign against? No one's going to probably enter that race after they saw what happened to the individual who attempted to enter the race for the primaries. People joke, if you vote, if you vote for the judge in the coming election, you will get a free wash and wax up in Thornwood. Mr. Jerris's wife, who now works at DPW, has the ability to make it difficult for people who work there whose brothers may want to run for judge. So because I spoke about this, in my opinion, they sent someone to harass me. But it's not the first time. And I spoke about that. You're not going to scare me like that. And I'm not going to react. If you think I'm going to react and do something, I'm not. I'm just going to continue to do basement politics. I'm going to continue to tell the people of the city of Yonkers what's really going on. So, folks, if you know, or if you see or hear anything that's happened to me, you're going to know why. Because I've never had problems. I've never had random individuals harass me, random phone calls, text messages. But it's all to intimidate me. But you got to do a lot more than that. I've been through worse. And you must be scared. So I'm going to keep going. So to all the individuals who may have been involved, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to continue to do basement politics and bring honest reporting to the people of the city because they deserve it. They deserve to see the circus that is put on by our elected officials. And the more you do to me, the more it's going to become obvious. Again, I'm only trying to do good things for the community. Why would you hinder that? Why would you try and put or why would you put resistance? Why would you give me a hard time? Why would you keep us from doing things for the community? And that's how certain individuals operate here in the city of Yonkers and have been for a long time. When you have an individual still involved in our city's elections, someone who has been convicted of political corruption, what do you expect we are going to get? And he has been behind many of our elected officials, past and current and future, if you don't speak up now. None of them work for you. So when you say that you email them and you don't get a response, it's because they don't work for you. They don't represent you. I heard this twice today. Twice today. In a matter of 40 minutes. I emailed so-and-so and I don't get a response. I get a generic response. Nothing. And I know that they're telling the truth because I've gotten the same emails. And that's why I do basement politics. Forget trying to write an email. We're going to put it all out there. We're going to do the research. And we have been. And I'm saving the best for last. Trust me. And we're gathering more. Some of it, it's really shocking. And there are people that are gathering this information and they want Freddy Vazquez to present it. And you know what? Let's do it because they want to mess with me. I'm going to mess with them right back. And we got to make sure we come out and vote and get these individuals out of our government here in the city. How can we have a true body, a governmental body that represents the people and acts on behalf of the best interests of the people when they are all pretty much sponsored by the same individual? He utilizes that connection and that control for financial gain. If no one enters the race against the judge, then you know what that's about. You know why this company was hired. Come to the events, write a check. Where does that money go? You didn't have to really run a race. Does it go to the Democratic Committee? Like Mike Breen is doing, fundraising, even though he is at the end of his term and he can't run again, at least for now. Yet he's fundraising. And I believe he said it's going to the Republican Party. It's like this. It's funneled all down to the same pocket. So we have to get out there and vote. And this is what I was saying to individuals at the school board meeting today. It's about voting people out. Because if you don't vote these people out, and if you don't vote and certain individuals get into office because you didn't vote and you have an issue and you write an email and you get a generic response, that's what you expect. You can't expect any more. Voting is so important. And this is why we must come out and vote in the next elections. That is part of creating the change that we have been talking about, that people encourage me to continue to speak about. And I appreciate that. I do. I really appreciate it, guys. And to the police officer that said hello to me as I was walking out, it made me feel a little nervous, man. I know you were saying you weren't trying to insinuate that I was doing anything wrong, but you did. And that's why we got to change that. I didn't do anything wrong, but I was like, did I do something wrong? And I know maybe he was joking. I don't know. And when you guys look at me as I'm driving away all grouped together and just staring at my car as I was pulling off, that's a little intimidating, guys. You guys do a great job. No complaints for me. But that's a little intimidating. But you guys were excellent yesterday, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the Yonkers police. I have no beef with them. But we have to come out and vote, folks, because there are individuals that are operating within our government that should not be there. And if we don't act now, then we're going to all end up having to move out. Sell your home, move out. It's a whole new wave of people coming in. And they're looking to change the zoning laws. So folks who live in single family zoning areas with single family zoning, they're looking to wipe that from the entire state. And although the mayor says he doesn't support that necessarily, he doesn't know much about it either. Anyway, that's it for the folks. That's my podcast. Again, to the individuals, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue doing my podcast. You're not going to intimidate me. You have intimidated so many for so long, and people have not been able to follow through on the changes that they wanted to make. They start with this energy, and then it just deflated. Look at my guy who wanted to run for judge. A lot of energy. Let's do it. F them. Yeah. And then it was, asking folks to support his would-be opponent had he entered the race. Because he understood, or he came to his own understanding, I should say, that you have to play the game. And he's going to play it. Well, anyway, folks, I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Please make sure you share, tell your friends. Thank you to the folks that I met today, to Brian, the gentleman that I met, and we spoke a little bit. I'm going to try to find that answer out for you about the cost of those ads. Make sure you share. Make sure you share. Make sure you tell your friends. I'm going to go to some of the comments. Judith Ramos Myers, Thomas Myers' ex-wife, is left the board. Bellamy left when she won. Still waiting for City Councilman Anthony Moranti to answer the email. Well, yeah, if you get an answer, it won't be much. So don't even wait for it. As a matter of fact, send them an email and say, don't worry about your email that you were supposed to send me. You're going to be gone soon, too. Asking a sustainable Westchester and the way we were all opted in is a violation of Constitution. Well, if it is, he's not going to answer it. He's not going to put himself in that position. Although he had a lot of fire at the meeting, right? As if he was opposed to it. But did you hear the double talk? You see this? You see the pin right here? This stands for freedom. This stands for freedom. And the program is good. I wouldn't opt out. You guys should stay in. It's good. But you should give people a choice. This stands for freedom. Guy, you guys have been doing this for so long, you don't even see yourselves. Maybe I just see. I'm a salesman. I did my business, everything on sales. That's how I started. Selling people. I'm good at it. I've been good at it. I've been doing well. So I see a salesman a mile away, just like when Mr. Councilman Rubo got up there and did the town hall meeting, or I call it an infomercial for Sustainable Westchester. They all tell us it's great, but they don't even know. They don't even know. They can't tell you. We can't tell you about the future price. We don't know, but it's great. That's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is to make sure small business owners like me, especially the ones who are putting up daycares in a community that you all say very much needs one, gets his business up. If there's any problems and he writes an email, you don't send a generic one if you answer it. But no, you go and work for Sustainable Westchester and do them and do their sales for them, selling for them. And why is that? Because that whole organization is full of elected officials lining their pockets up. Folks, this is a epidemic, almost an epidemic, a national epidemic of corruption within our government. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics. Please reach out to me. And if you're new to the show you're watching tonight, or you will watch and you're new, please email me politicwithfred@gmail.com. Any information, stories, or anything you'd like me to cover, or just anything that you find interesting, you think that I should know, share it. politicwithfred@gmail.com, and share the show, please. Share the show, please. Share the show. Share. And I'm safe, folks. Don't worry. I'm considering hiring security. You get bodyguards. That's crazy. That individuals, and I believe it was Mr. Jarris that sent those individuals, in my opinion. in my opinion. It's not the first time they send an individual to try to assault me. It's not. And that's just crazy. All right. So, folks, again, I need your support. I need you guys to back me. And if anybody out there has experience with security, you have your gun license, I'm looking to hire. I'm going to need it. The mobsters of the city government is after me. Anyway, please join. Please share. Please share. Oh, and I forget the Dare to Share contest. If you don't know, again, I know there's some individuals that said they were going to watch for the first time. The Dare to Share contest, it's all about sharing the podcast. And it has to be a podcast, not just a post. It has to be a podcast episode. It has to be a full podcast episode. And the more you share, the more chances you have of winning. On March 11th, I will announce the winner of a $100 gift card. And then I'm going to do a grand prize, ultimate prize, $1,000 cash prize to the individual that shares the most podcast episodes. And I am keeping track. I promise you that. I am keeping track. All right? All right? I want to share. Again, I don't make money doing this. And I told some of you guys out there outside of Saunders today, I don't make money. I do this to share information, to bring transparency, to bring truth to the people, and to create the change that people have been wanting for years. Years. It's a team effort. We must all do it together. I'm just playing a small part. All right. So I need you guys to support me, share, and please tell a friend about Freddy Vazquez and let them know we support Freddy all the way. Basement Politics, I'm Freddy Vazquez. Thank you for joining me tonight. Have a great night. Have a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see you tomorrow night. I am Freddy Vazquez, and I am getting it popping.
Let's get it popping.
Thank you for joining me, folks. That was my episode, The Rally and Retaliation. Will the school board decide to make the mask optional? Will our elected officials actually listen to the people and do what we want for once? And will the corruption retaliate against Freddy again? Well, I got my cameras up, I'm watching, and I'm ready.
Freddy wins. Fatality. Game over.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vazquez.
Be careful. Be very, very careful.